What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for another live review. And we're going to review SmackDown Live tonight. The September 5th edition of SmackDown Live took place from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And my oh my, may I say, last week was a little bit of a rant. Last week's episode of SmackDown Live was kind of weak. But tonight, in my honest opinion, I thought we got a pretty strong episode. Other than two things, I liked everything that was displayed on the card tonight. There was storytelling development. There was, great matches. Everything seemed to matter for the most part. And, the biggest story of tonight, which we'll get into as well, and the announcement of who will be coming to SmackDown Live next week. Man, I can't even think of the last time this person appeared on SmackDown Live. We'll get to that at the end of this review. I do apologize, though. This review is a little late. I know I had it set for 10:30, but I was doing some yard work, and it ran a little late. I had to come inside. I had to take a quick shower. So I started SmackDown a little bit late. I was trying to, fast forward through, but for some reason it wasn't allowing me to on my TV. But anyways, I'm here. Let's talk about SmackDown Live. Team Blue's solid show tonight. So we start off with some promos with Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura talking about their main event tonight. Orton saying that he's seen many stars rise and fall. Nakamura is definitely a star, but no one arises above the Viper. Last week, I was just showing Nakamura, just sending him a message saying, hey, I'm serious about this. I want to be the one who ends Jinder Mahal's title reign. And then Nakamura basically says he respects Orton, but he's chasing on his destiny. And the pain he inflicts on the Viper will be felt everywhere. If I could try to talk to Nakamura for a second. The pain he'll feel will be felt everywhere. Just trying to get a Nakamura imitation going here, guys. But then we get into the actual show itself. We have Carmella and James Ellsworth in the ring. Oh, this is going to be quite a story about tonight as well. Almost forgot about this one. Getting ready for Carmella's match against the SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Natalya, who, she's been trying to play some mind games with since, after all, she is Miss Money in the Bank. But last week they're playing last time they faced off, they're playing backfire 2 weeks ago whenever Ellsworth tried to cause a distraction instead and ended up getting Carmella the loss, even though her and Natalya were tag partners, and she was trying to get Natalya worn down so that way she could cash in on her, but that didn't work. But before the match started, Kevin Owens comes out. And we all know Kevin Owens, he's been lately pissed off at Shane McMahon, thinking Shane has screwed him out of being United States champion. He's been purposely targeting him and trying to make sure he's making his life miserable. So he comes out, and just like last week, he thinks now, since Shane's doing whatever he wants, he says, fine, I'm going to retire to do whatever heck I want. He came out saying that he's going to be the special guest referee for this match. So he's trying to get the shirt off of the referee before Shane comes out. Now, before I get into this segment, I haven't invested in this whole thing, what's going on between Shane and KO. The only thing that I was a little worried about, though, is what if they just do exactly what happened between AJ and Shane? That's what I was worried about. But this changed my whole thoughts on it. This is like, give me the green light because I'm ready to go. Just to quote that annoying Flo Rida song that was WrestleMania theme song. But Shane comes out and says that he needs to stop being so insubordinate. And Owen says if it wasn't for him, he'd still be on Raw, not on SmackDown. He says, I would rather be on Raw because, I was actually successful on Raw, and SmackDown is just not the same here. And I like this line, how Shane just fired back and saying, is that because Triple H handed you the Universal Championship? And then he says, that's not how it works on here. That's not how it works on here, Kevin. you earn your opportunities on here. And quite frankly, you've been doing nothing but making excuses. He says, I didn't, screw you at SummerSlam. You make excuses then. You also make excuses every week with Baron Corbin. He says, but Baron Corbin, he walked out. I didn't tell him to leave. I was just telling him he wasn't doing his job right. I wasn't going to fall for him being biased and just being in favor of you. But then KO starts to get a little personal. He starts saying that he starts insulting his kids, and he says, don't insult my kids again. He even goes as far as this, as saying that everyone wishes you would have died in that plane accident that just happened a few weeks ago. Yes, he went that far, and I thought that's what was going to set him off. But like he said before, do not insult my kids again. So Owens went as far as saying, no one would care. Not even your father, not even your wife, not even your kids. As soon as he said that, Shane snapped. He snapped. And despite he tumbled a little bit when he lost his footing when he came out of the ring, he just beat the living crap out of Kevin Owens. Let me tell you something. I thought that last week's episode, when Shane was interviewed saying, he was Owens has left and that's the same thing I'm going to do. I thought we were going to get to another, Owens beating down Shane in the parking lot. But, this was KO pretty much, pushing Shane over the limit until Shane just cracked. That's the Kevin Owens I want to see. Not the guy who's just going to come in and just make excuses and complain and needs help winning every single fight, because that's not the Kevin Owens we know. This is the Kevin Owens who's in there. He doesn't care at all. He's just beating the crap out of everybody. That's what he did last week, even though it wasn't the strongest looking segment, but it was still what I want to see out of Kevin Owens. And this week, he paid the price by getting beat up by Shane McMahon. So that wasn't what we were going to see about that. So then, everybody came out. Daniel Bryan, the announcers, which also, by the way, in case you didn't realize, Corey Graves is on SmackDown Live now. It's rumored that he's going to be on both Raw and SmackDown now, replacing JBL. And now Nigel McGuinness is actually going to take his place on Main Event and 205 Live, as he'll be doing those with Vic Joseph. So that was also another note to make of tonight's episode. But also, like Daniel Bryan, because I was like, Shane, what are you doing here? Because you're the commissioner, you can't put your hands on superstars. So then we go to the back, and Kevin Owens is being helped, and then Daniel apologizes to Kevin and saying, Shane went out of line. That should not have happened. And then KO says, I'm going to sue everyone on SmackDown and the WWE, every penny that they're worth, pretty much. And then Bryan's like, is there any better way we can handle this than that? And Owens just said, okay, fine. I will press criminal charges against Shane McMahon. And then he walks away. So that leaves Bryan still, kind of shaking his head and just doesn't know what to do. But then we finally get to the match. And this match between Carmella and Natalya wasn't too bad. But it's obvious that, Carmella did have another plan as well with her briefcase. And things got interesting because towards the end of this match, Ellsworth was on the apron and he dropped the briefcase in the ring, causing a distraction. And then Carmella's like, James, no, don't do this. They're having a little bit of heat because she was a little ticked off at him last week after caused a distraction for her plan to backfire. Then it happened again. Natalya rolled up Carmella for the pinfall victory, which also, speaking of which, I got to give a quick shout out to Natty herself, because I actually posted a tweet tonight that was liked by Miss Natalya Neidhart, or Tyson Kidd's wife, as we all know her. So yeah, this is the second superstar to ever like one of my tweets. Let me see if I can find it. Aha! This tweet right here. Well, screen's kind of blurred out, but kind of tilted right there. You can kind of see that. But yes, I was shouting Lord Enzo's one that's Fatal 5-Way. Don't really care. I said good match between Natty and Carmella. Tensions start building with Carmella's worth. And sure enough, Natalya liked my tweet. So I'm like, cool, excellent. Only the second WWE superstar to do so. The only one who has ever liked my tweet besides her was Mojo Rawley. And I even tweeted her thanking her for it, but she didn't answer it. But oh well, I thought it was still cool. But after the match, Carmella takes the mic and she just snaps on Ellsworth, just calling him a charity case, and says that his mother should have given him away at birth, saying he belongs in the zoo and such. Like, how did he even work here? Which that's how I wanted to. How did Ellsworth even get this job here? But then she says, "We are through." Meaning, like, did they break up? They were never a couple. They were just, Carmel was James Ellsworth's friend that was a girl, but it's obvious, we all know that, Ellsworth was doing anything he could in his power to help Carmel be successful, just to, get along with her. That's what his goal is. I'm sure Big Cass wouldn't like it, but we'll talk about them a little bit later, because they had a pretty good moment tonight also later on. So Carmella pretty much dumps Ellsworth. That was fun to see. We then had one of probably the second lowest point of the night for me. It's Dolph Ziggler's re-debut. And last week I was kind of turned off already, because the week before I'm like, okay, we have Ziggler coming back, taking a little bit of a break, kind of like refreshing himself a little bit. There are rumors of him repackaging, but he made it seem like 2 weeks ago was saying, oh, what do I got to do to get over here? Do I have to, do this? Do I have to, come out dancing? Do I have to walk out with, like, glow? Do I have to walk out with a woman? We'll see what happens next week. Last week, he pretty much did the same exact promo, and now we're kind of turned me off. It's like, they're not going to do anything with him. This, they finally did a little more. He actually made it out to the ring. Well, not into the ring, but out on the ramp. He came out saying, no, I'm going to change my gimmick. He came out with his original music. He said, I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. He came out to John Cena's music. First was a John Cena hat, like imitating John Cena's entrance, having like a towel that said DZ on it. He's like showing the cameras like, buy it, buy it, buy it. It's SmackDown Live. We're looking good tonight, huh, guys? And then he's like, oh, you guys didn't like that? He says, well, how about this? Then he comes out to Randy Savage's entrance with someone just representing Miss Elizabeth pretty much. Came out. He realized the crowd wasn't really digging that either. And he says, oh, you don't like that? And he tells the lady who she was just like, I'm sorry, not needed, but thank you anyways. Goodbye. He comes in one more time and pretty much imitates Naomi's entrance. And it's like, oh, you guys didn't like that either? He says, anybody else can do it, but I can't. But he says, but nobody can do what I could do in the ring. But he says, you guys don't care about me? Well, I don't care about you guys either. Then he just leaves. I don't know. They finally did a little bit more with Dolph tonight than we have in the past week or two. But just looking at him in these segments personally, he just looks like a broken mess. It's a shame because I do see the talent. I know Dolph Ziggler is talented. I know he's world championship material. The WWE is just not booked him right. And personally, I think he needs to go somewhere else. I respect his talent. If he wants to stay, I respect that. I know he at least enjoys working the live events, but he's working like complete garbage on TV. And this just didn't make him look any better, honestly. He just looked like the writing was on the wall there. We don't know what to do with Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler was trash to us. That's what it looked like to me. That's why, if you didn't see it yet, also check out my Hell in a Cell predicted match, which I uploaded right before, about an hour ago. I predicted him and Bobby, who feud Bobby Roode, in an I Quit. Not an I Quit. I Quit would be too bad, but I put it in a loser leaves WWE match. Thinking because rumors have it that Ziggler's contract is supposed to expire in October anyway, so. What if this is, possibly Ziggler's last match, and this is what, writes him off the show? Because I said, too, at the beginning of the year, they turned him heel. I thought, oh, this will be good. It's going to refresh his character, get him back into the world title picture. Hasn't really done much for him. To me, it still feels like the same guy, except, like, it's just the obvious. Like, people really care much more because they're not doing anything with him, so we're not going to cheer him. So why keep him face and turn him heel? It's just, that's what it seems to me. And then, of course, we have my lowest point of the night. What on earth? Remember a year ago or so, or a few months ago, we're saying how Sami Zayn needs to go to SmackDown. He'll be produced well. Well, it just hasn't worked out well. He's been involved with a warrantless feud with Mike Kanellis, which what are they fighting over? The fact that Sami Zayn interrupted them, the fact that Sami Zayn thinks they're annoying because their whole thing, the power of love thing, the fact that Mike Kanellis just broke a vase on Sami's head. And then for the second week in a row, he loses to Aiden English. I mean, last week was because of Kevin Owens. This week, he loses to Aiden English clean. And no offense, like Aiden English, like I haven't been able to get much behind him, but it's like, why is he even still here? His tag team partner left. Like he's not really much of anything, really, in my honest opinion. But he's making Sami Zayn look weak. And afterwards, English tries to finish his song, and he just gets chased away by Sami, and I just did not care. Can we please just start? He's someone else that he's on SmackDown I thought would really benefit moving over to SmackDown, and it just hasn't been working out for him so far. If anything, he's been worse. I thought he would book better on Raw, but it's not working out, unfortunately. So that was my lowest point of the night. We then backstage have the New Day walk up to Daniel Bryan in underwear. So New Day now are advertising underwear. First it was Bootios, then it was ice cream pops or New Day pops. A mouthful of magic, you just gotta have it. Then come up with catchphrase for this underwear, but I'm like, what the heck is this? It was a little goofy for me, but it was what it was. And then the Usos come by also, and it was pretty much just there just to be like, okay, what's your stipulation? Because you're going to have your match next week on SmackDown Live. It's in the Sin City, which we're also going to begin the SmackDown Women's Championship rematch between Natalya and Naomi. And the Usos said they decided to have their stipulation as a Sin City street fight. I'm like, cool, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm still not pleased at how they did this with having them beat the New Day last week on SmackDown, but I know my friend Robbie One Kenobi even predicted this as well. They should have had a Brooklyn street fight at SummerSlam, but now we're getting a Sin City street fight. So cool, I'm for it. Hopefully it'll blow it out of the water next week and hopefully be their best match of this feud. Maybe blow out this feud because I predicted. I know that they're trying. I think WWE is purposely trying to make New Day get the most tag title reigns as long as it makes sense. I'd be for it. I think New Day have done fine on SmackDown so far, but I do think the Usos are going to face off against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin at Hell in a Cell. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But then after this, that's when Brian's phone goes off, and he's a little hesitant, and he's like, "You want me to go to the ring and take care of this?" He's like, "Oh boy, is there any better way to settle this?" But he hangs up and he heads to the ring. He came out, and he said, "Shane, you need to come down to the ring." And then Brian was talking about like how you can't put your hands on superstars. And then Shane says, "You're right. I understand. I went out of line tonight, but we might as well have my family." That sends me into a different mindset. And KO crossed the line, so I took exception to it, and I did what I had to do. He says, I mean, Daniel, you're a new father now. Would you have done the same thing? He's like, I understand. He says, but let me give you an example. And he talked about The Miz on Talking Smack and how The Miz every week when he was on SmackDown Live would come out and just obliterate Daniel Bryan, pretty much just bullying him. And he says, as much as I wanted to punch him in the face, I didn't because I put our employees and the company first over my frustrations. And unfortunately, and then, before I get to this part, Shane then says, okay, well, then I understand what you're saying. What's up, Lunatic Cringe? He says, I guess I'll just go talk to Kevin Owens. We'll try to sort this out right now. And Brian says, unfortunately, Shane, you're not going to really be able to do that right now. And he's like, why is that? He says, I just got a call. It was from your father. And unfortunately, Shane, I have to inform you, effective immediately, you're indefinitely suspended. And he walks out of the ring. But the crowd was really into it, into this whole night. Like, this whole thing was they were cheering on Shane. Like is built more babyface, more of him as the babyface. And yes, I did like SmackDown Live tonight, Lunatic Cringe. And it was just good babyface build as well for both of them, like, dealing with a problem and really establishing Kevin Owens as that heel character, as I keep saying that I like to see, not just the cowardly heel he was when he was the Universal Champion. Him just, pushing people's buttons and, getting his money's worth and him being worth money as well. So he walks out, even though people are chanting Shane O'Mac to him. We have an interview backstage with Jinder Mahal that he doesn't think it matters who wins tonight. Something, blah, 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 whatever, just Jinder Mahal's usual bullcrap. Indefinitely suspended doesn't mean he's suspended forever. It means he's suspended, but there's no time frame, like when he'll be back. Like, it's more so like until the matter is resolved or until they say you're good to go back. It's not saying like, oh, you got like a 10-day suspension. It's like you're suspended until we say so, pretty much. We then have a match. It was Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger with AJ Styles on commentary. He was talking about, how Corbin, last week interfered in their U.S. Open Challenge match and how he's trying to make the United Championship feel important again, and how he and just pretty much he's pretty much trying to treat the U.S. Championship like how John Cena did. He was U.S. champion in 2015, which is cool because it did help put on some good matches and make that championship feel important again. I said last week I didn't really like how the match went down because personally I felt that it made Ty look like a joke. But tonight, I mean, despite he lost to Corbin, I thought Ty had one of his better matches on the main roster. He had a strong showing, and then what AJ Styles pointed out was that while the referee was trying to settle down Corbin, he did a cheap shot right into the throat of Ty Dillinger, and you hear Styles chirping on the headset going, cheap shot, that's all you want to do. You want to do is cheap shot. And he hit Dillinger at the end of days for the win. If they're going to put a U.S. title match between Corbin and Styles at Hell in a Cell, again, I'm completely cool with it as long as they're doing something with Corbin, because again, he had all the momentum going, and just the way he got buried to John Cena just worried me that he was just going to go right down the chute. But they're still they're like, just easing back more into just the mid card rather than the main event scene. I can deal with that. I mean, I kind of hope he wins the U.S. title. I mean, I won't be upset if AJ Styles wins. Just have a good match and don't make it look like a joke as he did against Cena at SummerSlam. Like, make it look like a monster. This is a feud where it's like, it'd be nice to see Corbin win, but as long as he looks strong in the loss, I'll be okay with it. And then afterwards, backstage, we had Styles come up to Dillinger saying, you still had a good match. He said, Corbin did that cheap shot. He said, but he also interrupted us from having a good match last week. How about you and me next week in Sin City? We put on the match that everybody wants to see. And they shake on it and agree with it. Lunatic Cringe says, I hope Kevin Owens will face Shane at Survivor Series. Could be Survivor Series, or I mean, if they wait till Survivor Series, cool with me. I predicted though at Hell in a Cell, they have the Hell in a Cell match main event. Possible. We'll see. Personally, because I think right now it's the only feud that's really worthy of being Hell in a Cell is between these two. Because I don't want to see Nakamura and Jinder being inside Hell in a Cell, despite the fact that they're trying to keep the Singh brothers out. I just don't see that having Hell in a Cell written on it. Corbin and Styles, maybe Hell in a Cell. I don't know. It's the first match of the feud. I'm not too sure if I want to see that one be inside Hell in a Cell either. But I do kind of hope Corbin wins U.S. title, get some momentum back going again since he got buried to Cena. But we'll see what happens. If though, well, we'll get to it later. A WWE Championship match. Whoever won the match tonight, I predicted, even though this is not really the best stipulation, I predict it to be the title can be changed by count or disqualification to put that little bit of pressure on, but I don't want it to be like, Jinder loses the title because of that. I wanted to, just be that pressure. Kind of like that feel I had whenever Nikki Bella and Charlotte had that type of match at Night of Champions, right when Nikki Bella's title reign past AJ Lee's. We still don't really support that that completely, but like that feel to it. But have whoever faces Nakamura, which we'll get to shortly, win clean over him. Just that pressure to have the Singh brothers, really try to, push the buttons, but be unsuccessful, because I just cannot wait for this person to take the title off of Jinder Mahal. Again, I respect that they've done their best they could with this, but I'm sorry, it's not working. Jinder, if this was a mid-card run, I'd be okay with it, but in the main event scene, it's just not quite working for me. It's not quite like appealing to me. This, I cracked up at this. This was awesome. I really liked this backstage segment. We have James Ellsworth, probably heartbroken, walking around. He finds Carmella and apologizes and begs her to give him another chance. He goes on and on. Carmella didn't even look at Ellsworth. She just goes, puts her hands up and looks at him and says, "From now on, we're going to do things my way." And to a surprise, she grabbed Ellsworth and she planted one right into Ellsworth's mouth. Gave him probably one of the biggest kisses I've seen on live TV in a long time. But then afterwards, she slapped Ellsworth. So I'm sort of thinking, well, it seemed like Ellsworth somewhat got what he wanted, but he's still in hot water with her with that slap. I mean, it was strange, but I kind of found it a little amusing, just knowing, a guy like, Ellsworth, who we're supposed to take seriously, even though we all know he's not really going to outdo anybody in the WWE. But, the best thing to do right now is just to attempt to, get hooked up with Carmella. And he got somewhere tonight, but then he just, got slapped right back across the face, which I thought was humorous personally. I know it wasn't really, anything astronomical, but I was still entertained by that. And then we have the main event, which I know last week I said wasn't as excited for this as I was for John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura, because I just personally don't think Randy Orton has performed some of his best work this year. However, though, I thought he looked good in this match tonight. I will give him the credit. I thought him and Nakamura went out there, had a good match. Was as good as Cena and Nakamura, in my opinion, but I liked it. I was wondering if maybe Rusev was going to come out, because I think they are going to continue the feud with Rusev, even though I wasn't crazy about it since Orton pretty much just laid waste to Rusev with just that easy RKO at SummerSlam. If they do have another match, though, at Hell in a Cell, I predicted with the match is a singles match, but the RKO is banned, because if you notice, Randy Orton's just been owning Rusev with that RKO. He just comes out, it's just an RKO out of nowhere all the time, and it feels like if Rusev wants to beat Randy, he's going to want to try to pull Randy's bow and arrow out of him, even though, again, it's not going to really do much anyway. He's not going to really care as much, but that's what I might be going. But yeah, Nakamura did beat Orton clean. It was a good match. I liked the couple counters he had towards the end. He did have a nice counter from the RKO to he was about to the RKO on Nakamura, but Nakamura got him down to the armbar. Orton broke free, and then towards the end of the match, Orton went for an RKO again, but then Nakamura countered into the backbreaker or whatnot, setting him up for the Kinshasa knee strike, and he won clean. And again, I didn't enjoy it as much as Orton and Cena, but I still, thought they had a good match. Probably one of Orton's better matches of the year, I'd say, in my opinion. And I look forward to seeing Shinsuke Nakamura hopefully take that title off of Jinder Mahal at Hell in a Cell. But that wasn't it, though. We had one more thing happen tonight on SmackDown. We had Kevin Owens in the back, who walks into Daniel Bryan again. And he pretty much threatens again, to take matters into his own hands again. He's going to make this into the Kevin Owens show and blah, blah, blah. But then Daniel Bryan says, somebody is going to be here next week to address the situation. He's like, oh, who is it? Is it going to be Shane's wife? Is she upset because, I pissed off Shane and bash his little kids, blah, blah, blah. He said, and then Brian Pause says, Mr. McMahon. That is right. I can't remember the last time this has happened. Vince McMahon, the boss, the man himself, is going to be appearing on SmackDown Live next week to address this situation. I'm already excited for next week's episode of SmackDown Live. We have 3 title matches next week. We have the rematch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. We have the rematch for the SmackDown Tag Championship in a Sin City Street Fight. We had the U.S. title match between AJ Styles and Ty Dillinger. And we also have now Vince McMahon is appearing on SmackDown Live in who knows how long. So, again, after the awful episode we got last week, this just woke me back up again. And I cannot wait to watch SmackDown Live next Tuesday night. So, guys, that is it. This was, again, a really solid episode of SmackDown Live. I pretty much enjoyed everything. You know, I enjoyed the stuff with Carmella and James Ellsworth. I really enjoyed the stuff with Shane McMahon and Kevin Owens, the main event between Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. The announcements for the matches next week as well. The only 2 things I didn't really enjoy was the stuff with Dolph Ziggler and the fact that Sami Zayn lost again clean to Aiden English. But other than that, I can say this was a very strong episode of SmackDown Live. So before we go off the air, let me, as always, take it to Twitter and see my polls for this evening. The grades and which show we enjoyed better this week. Let me see here. All right, so I have 13 votes for each. What grade would you give SmackDown Live tonight? 38% said A, 38% said B, 15% said C, 9% said D. And for which show did you enjoy more this week, Raw or SmackDown Live? Raw got 31%, SmackDown got 69%. So a lot of people enjoyed SmackDown more than Raw this week. If I could pick which one I enjoyed more this week, that's tough. I mean, Raw was really solid. Again, the lowest point, the only 2 things that was a little off for me from Raw last night where I say, I mean, the Cruiserweight title match, the Cruiserweight tag match I didn't really care too much for, although I was a little interested in seeing Enzo performing some heel tactics, like, you know, cheating a little bit to win, which interests me a little bit, not a lot, but just a little bit. And the announcement of Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor just man-to-man is kind of a little bit of a letdown to me as well. I don't know why. It just didn't appeal to me too much. Tonight, though, again, the only 2 things I didn't like was Sami Zayn and Aiden English and Dolph Ziggler's thing coming out imitating other people's gimmicks. It just looked like more of like a broken mess than it really was. It's really tough. It's a really tough time because I'd say maybe since, you know, I still hold like the Finn Balor stuff and the Cruiserweight stuff maybe just a little bit higher than those 2 downsides. So I'll give the slight edge to Raw this week because I did give like Raw an A-, great last night, like a 90%. SmackDown Live, I'm going to give it a solid B+, like an 88, 89%. I enjoy Raw just a touch more than SmackDown Live this week. And the Lunatic Cringe in the live chat asked me, I like to stream, bro. Are you going to review NXT tomorrow? Well, actually, before I review NXT tomorrow, I actually have also a quick announcement. Tomorrow, also at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I teased it here and there. I'm going to do, and we've been trying to do this for a while, but we've just been busy with our schedules. I'm going to do a review of the first year of the brand split. So far, it's just going to be me and my friend Robbie One Kenobi. We're going to do a live stream tomorrow doing that. We may have our other Horseman brothers join us. They didn't definitely say that their words going to yet, but either way, it's definitely Robbie and I. We're going to go tomorrow night at 6:30, and I will definitely either later tomorrow night, if not early Thursday, I will review NXT as well. So thank you guys for tuning in the live chat. Please make sure to click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content to come. Please make sure to check out both my No Mercy predicted match card, which I uploaded that about a week ago, and my Hell in a Cell match card, which I just uploaded tonight. Again, if you're into, you know, any of the Wolfenstein 3D mods, I'm going to definitely get back on the horse of doing those doing floor 6 to 10 for Coming to Storm. I'll take care of that stuff. And yes, so again, I will see you guys tomorrow night, definitely with the brand split review and hopefully NXT review tomorrow night. If not, I will do that Thursday. So that's it, guys. Also, I haven't gotten a chance to watch the episodes 5 through 8 of the Mae Young Classic yet, but I did watch the first 4 episodes. Very good. The last match, Tessa Blanchard, and I can't remember what's the other woman's name. That's probably my favorite match of the tournament so far. But I will tune into those as well. Thank you again, those who tune in chat, especially you, Lunatic Cringe, who is the most active in this review. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Till then, guys, peace.